We're here for another fun-filled joint on Wednesday, the 18th. It's a beautiful fucking day. Tomorrow, I'll be in New Jersey for a fucking year. We're going to celebrate. I don't know what me and the wife... we're going to a movie at the Rec tomorrow night with the kids, fucking the lawn chairs, the whole fucking thing on Thursday. Like 2 fucking jerk-offs, 3 jerk-offs. And then Friday, we're going to the fucking... the pep rally. Holy shit. There's food trucks. There's a band. There's arts and crafts. You know, the family shit. We're here today to talk about women in motherfucking comedy. You know, for years, people make fucking remarks about women doing comedy. The guy from Letterman a couple of years ago got fired because he said there was no funny women. I beg to differ. I think there's... Listen, here's the fucking statement that has always killed me. When you say women aren't funny, you fucking contradict yourself right off the bat, because we all grew up on Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball made us fucking scream for years. I don't say I Love Lucy on TV no more, so it makes you forget. I Love Lucy cracked us up when we were fucking kids. So for you to say somebody's not funny, a woman, a man, whatever, but we're just focusing on women. I grew up on Lucille Ball, so I had tons of fucking respect for them. And I loved that lady that died years ago. God bless her soul. I forget what her name is. She was filthy. And I remember watching her host fucking the Tonight Show. She would host for Johnny Carson. And one night she had fucking Vanity on there. And she was saying that fucking, she started torturing Vanity. For you guys who don't know, Vanity is a singer that used to date Prince, and she made a song called Nasty Girl. I played it on my Patreon a couple of weeks ago. People were like, who the fuck is this? It's an old song from 1982. And she was on the Tonight Show. She had gotten a little heat for dating Prince or whatever. She's on the fucking Tonight Show. And the lady said to her, I can't believe you date Prince. He makes Michael Jackson look like a Green Beret and all this shit. I mean, she was fucking cracked. You know, this Prince had not really... Prince had hit. It was like 84, 85. He had hit, but motherfuckers didn't really know who the fuck Prince was, you know? But anyway, I just liked her. And then when I moved to LA, when you go to the Comedy Store, there was a fucking bunch of funny women. And, you know, listen, I had a hard time following guys at the store, but let me tell you something. One of the hardest fucking follows at that store was a lady. What the fuck was her name? It was just on the tip of my tongue. Was a lady from Houston, Texas that used to run with Kennison and Bill Hicks and Carla Bow. She came to one of my shows in Connecticut. Beaumont Bacon was her name. Holy shit. Let me tell you something. When Beaumont Bacon went on a fucking roll, if you had a follower and you were a man, you were dead. You were dead. And I tried to warn guys about her. Like, I'm like, dog, you're following Beaumont Bacon on a Saturday night. You don't want no piece of that. And they would say, fuck you. I'm at the store every night. I can follow anybody. Okay. Listen, it didn't fucking... I knew better. I'm the type of dude that I fucking see the dangers and I try to avoid them. If you gotta fucking, you know, jump into the lion's mouth, you jump into the lion's mouth with fucking 2 hands and your dick out. But, you know... I know what's dangerous, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, when something's dangerous, I fucking stay the fuck away from it. You know, I don't fuck with it. I loved Beaumont. I loved her. In fact, she came to my show in Connecticut a couple years ago to thank me for talking about her and for respecting her as much as I did. I remember I went to La Jolla. I had to do a gig in San Diego, and I stopped at La Jolla, and there was a comic there, no names, and I went to visit him. He was a good guy, a friend of mine. And I stopped by his show before my show. My show was like a 9 o'clock show, and he had a 7 o'clock. He had an 8 o'clock show. So I took him out to dinner at 7. And he was telling me, like kind of telling me, because I had to follow Beaumont last night. And I'm like, look, dog, listen. I gave him a fucking fair warning. I said, listen. We all want to be fucking great comics. I got no problems with that. But there's certain people that you follow that you have to work harder than others. You know, I told him, because he was saying he was mad because Beaumont was a fucking headliner. And he was a headliner. kind of. And he kept saying, well, we're going to alternate. And I said to him, listen, so she's going to close out the first show? And he goes, no. She's going to close out the second show. I go, listen, bro, you don't want her to close out. You don't want to close out the first show. That's the fucking date show. That's when decent people come and they pay a babysitter and they fucking laugh. And guess what? Those are the same people that go to comedy every week and they see 3-man shows. They're going to see a fucking girl and women are going to go nuts. I go, you don't want to, especially in La Jolla, I go, you don't want to follow her. Just tell her you'll feature for her the first show. That's a smart move. And then the second show, you go buck wild because the audience is buck wild. You have nothing to lose. He's like, nah, that's pussy shit. I'm going to follow her the first show. Listen, if you don't think I stayed to watch the fucking disaster, you obviously don't fucking know me. I'm the type of dude that I got to see it to believe it. So I didn't say anything to him. I tried to fucking warn him that women were dangerous in comedy. He's like, nah, I could follow anybody at the store. I could follow Beaumont Bacon with my eyes closed. Listen, I called the promoter and said there was traffic in L.A., that I'll be there like at 9:15. I usually don't go on those shows till 9:40. I was the headliner those days. I wasn't a headliner either. Let's get that out of the way. That was a long time ago. This had to be like 2000. I wasn't really a good headliner either. I was a fucking a good feature act. And I'll never forget, we walked back from the Chinese restaurant. I walked in there with him. And sure enough, I gave Beaumont a hug. I giggled when I hugged her, one of those, like the one that the butler gave Eddie Murphy in Boomerang when he brought the fucking dish, when he was with the old lady, when he had to fuck the old lady, she would invite people over and then fuck them. That's the way I went up to her and I kind of giggled. I'm like, oh, you're going to kill this poor bastard. She's like, what are you talking about? I don't know. And I just sat there and I watched her go up as a feature for 20 minutes. And this is what I'm saying to you guys. Like a guy like me, I'm dangerous in a 20-minute setting, or I was dangerous in a 20-minute setting. I know you guys heard it 1,000 times because I would take 45 minutes and shrink it into 20 and not stop. It's my world. I don't want to do an hour. Hour comedy, that sucks. I'd rather do 20 minutes and blow you out of the fucking water that you sit there going, what the fuck is this shit? Especially at the store. At the store, I had those 18 minutes down to a science. I know that you'll hear people going, you got to follow Joey at the store. Whitney Cummings always talks about it. The hardest people I ever had to follow was A.J. Jamal, Don Herrera, and then in the second chapter of my comedy career, there was one guy that was dangerous in there, and that was Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia, Ali Wong was fucking dangerous as death in the original room. And I made it my point to follow Ali Wong. I told fucking Adam Egget, I go, listen, me and Ali work perfect together. She fucking gets them open and I'll fucking close them. She knows exactly how to open up my doors for me. I loved Ali Wong because Ali Wong would leave me with a tag to open up that wasn't part of my act. Listen, when you go up, I'm going to give comics a little tip right now. When you go up on stage, you don't want to open up with your material. You want to open up with something that just happened in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's how you really get them. And then you go into your written material, but you want to get them with something loose. For example, like Ali Wong would have a bit about going up on stage that she wanted to date a comic, but the comic had to be funnier than her. And for the comic to be funnier than her meant that the comic had to be older than she was. So, right away she's talking about old men. I mean, Allie's probably 32, 33. She's beautiful. I love her to death. Great fucking comic. Great lady. I'm not saying nothing bad about her. But she would go, but she was R-rated, Ali Wong. So she would talk all this shit up there about sex and stuff. And she would say, I want somebody to suck my pussy and all that, whatever. As soon as Ali would bring me up, I would always go, let's keep it going for Ali Wong. I would suck the yin-yang juice out of her pussy. When you say yin-yang juice, they go fucking nuts. You can't say it now because Chinese people get mad at you. You know it's a joke. I would say it on stage. I would say that and bring the fucking house down. Then I could slip into my material. Then Jeff Scott, would play that song for me by not Cool in the Gang, but the other band, Do It Till You're Satisfied, whatever it is. So I would do a little wiggle, and then I would lay the line out about Ali Wong, and I would do that all together. So now it was like a free ride. Once you get them with that yin-yang juice, you just steamroll them now. You don't stop, you don't look back, you don't look at your notes, you just go. And that was my secret. You just go. Keep talking, talk. Don't even give them a chance to laugh. I wouldn't even give them a chance to laugh. That applause break, I would just keep hammering them for 18 minutes. I would leave there, they would go, what the fuck was that? That's the magic of the store. You learn at the store how to use those 18 minutes. But anyway, forget about all the funniness and shit. Women in comedy have always been a part of me. Last year when people were like, Joe Rogan laughed at him talking about getting his dick sucked. If you see all the women that stick up for me, a bunch of comics, female comics stuck up for me. Why? Because I did pull them aside, and I did talk to them, and I did give them love, and I did show them, don't do that. There was a girl that stuck up for me that I'll never forget. She's beautiful. She was a young girl. We were in the main room, and I saw that she had a shirt, and she was showing her tits. And I had seen her for like 3 Tuesdays in a row, and I really wanted to say something to her, but I didn't want to disrespect her. So finally one night she came up to me. She was a real cute girl, real sweet. I don't know what her name was. She'll tell you when she hears the podcast. She'll pick up a hand and go, he's talking about me. One night we were in the main room. It was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. Place is packed. And I watched her, the earlier show, and she was fucking funny, this girl. And she was really pretty. That's the contradiction. She was a real fucking knockout, and she had tremendous tits, and they're out here. So after like the 3rd week, I couldn't take it. No, I didn't think I was doing her any favors by not telling her. So I pulled her aside like a man. I didn't tell her in front of people. And I go, listen, you're really fucking funny. You got a career in this shit, but you're mistaking. You're thinking that they want to see your tits. I hope you don't get mad at me. You got nice tits. I agree with you. They should see them, but when you're on stage, you don't need those fucking machine guns out. They're just beautiful machine guns. You don't need it. You have the ability to kill them whether you are an ugly girl. I mean, why are you showing those machine guns? There's no need for this fucking rifles out now. Put them away. And she fucking put a sweater on, went out there and killed. And she came back in and she looked at me. She goes, thank you. I could be her father. There was I didn't want to hit on her. I was just giving her advice. And I did the same with a lot of those women, from Kate Quigley. Me and Felicia had a bond. Me and Allie had a bond. Me and Whitney had a bond. Me and Eliza had a bond. When I got in trouble, Eliza reached out to me and said, I support you. I mean, this is because they know who you are and they know how you've been with them. The store got a bad rap over the years for, they don't put enough women on stage. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. The women that deserved to be there were there. And I saw them all, and I supported them all, and we laughed together, and we always had a great fucking time. So whoever tells you that, when you hear it, don't believe the hype. Women grew there. Women grew there by fucking huge numbers because all of us took them and took care of them and told them it was going to be fine. That's what you do with younger comics. And I did the same with male comics. I did the same with everybody. After a while, you're a comic, but you're older. You've been doing it for 20 years. They look up to you as somebody to give them help or advice. It's not that you're their mentor or nothing like that. I was never, who would fucking have me for a mentor? You're out of your mind. You just talk to people.